Creating truly unique creatures is a cornerstone of immersive and captivating world building. In this video, I will guide you through Ethereal Genesis, my own methodical approach to creature design. From anatomy to cultural depth and narrative integration, we'll explore how to draw from diverse inspirations and ensure your creations enrich your storytelling and worlds. Hi everyone, my name is Sasha, and this video is part of my ongoing deep dive into the realms of storytelling, world building, and fantasy writing. In the vast expanse of fantasy, literature, and media, we often encounter a familiar cast of creatures. Whether it is dragons that hoard treasure, elves dwelling in ancient forests, or trolls lurking beneath bridges. Personally, I love them. But while these beings have their charm, they can sometimes represent a certain limitation in our creative horizons. In my experience, the key to overcoming this challenge isn't just about breaking away from tradition for the sake of novelty. It's about tapping into a deeper well of inspiration and then understanding how to weave these inspirations into the fabric of our worlds. Let's begin our journey with the first step of Ethereal Genesis: diverse inspirations. In traditional creature design, we often rely heavily on familiar mythologies. But while these are great and shouldn't be ignored, imagine the possibilities when we start looking beyond. Think about the rich and varied forms of life found in nature, the fantastical shapes and colors of deep-sea creatures, or the peculiar adaptations of insects. These can spark ideas for creatures that are not just magical, but also feel grounded in a reality that's as strange as any fantasy. Art and literature offer another vast pool of inspiration. The surreal landscapes in a painting, the eerie creatures found in folklore, or even the speculative beings from science fiction can provide unique starting points for our creature designs. These sources help us think outside the traditional fantasy box and create something truly original. Moreover, let's not underestimate personal experiences and observations. The way shadows move in a forest at dusk, the patterns formed by clouds, or even concepts from dreams can transform into the basis for a creature. Sometimes, the most unique ideas come from simply looking at the world around us with a curious and imaginative mind. Lastly, historical discoveries and archaeological finds can be an unexpected source of inspiration as well. Imagine creatures based on extinct species, or mythical beings that aren't part of the typical mythologies but still were believed in by ancient civilizations. These elements can add a layer of mystery and antiquity to our creations. Each of these sources provides a unique set of attributes, themes, and ideas that we can draw upon. By combining elements from different inspirations, we can create creatures that are not just novel, but rich in depth and meaning. But gathering these diverse inspirations is just the first part. The next crucial step is to identify core themes. This involves sifting through our gathered inspirations to find recurring themes or concepts that resonate deeply. It's not just about the physical characteristics. We're also looking for underlying themes like transformation, guardianship, wisdom, survival, or innovation. For instance, a creature inspired by marine life might embody themes of adaptation and mystery. A being from ancient folklore could embody themes of protection and wisdom. These core themes become the foundation of our creature's conceptual design. Now that we have a foundation of diverse inspirations and core themes, let's dive into the second step of Ethereal Genesis: habitat and ecology. This step is crucial for embedding our creatures authentically within their world. Our first sub-step is to define the specific ecosystems where our creature will live. This could range from lush, verdant forests and vast arid deserts to the mysterious depths of oceans. Each ecosystem comes with unique characteristics: the dense foliage and dappled light of a forest, the relentless sun and shifting sands of a desert, or the pressure and darkness of oceanic trenches. The habitat choice should align with the inspirations and themes we've identified. For instance, a creature inspired by deep-sea life might find its home in dark oceanic caves, while a being rooted in folklore about spirits may dwell in ancient forests. Next, we determine the ecological role of our creature. Is it a predator, lurking in the shadows waiting for its prey? A gentle herbivore, grazing in the fields? Or perhaps it has a symbiotic relationship with other creatures or elements of its environment. This role should reflect the creature's thematic elements. For example, a creature embodying the theme of guardianship might be a protective entity in its ecosystem, warding off threats to other species. Lastly, we develop the survival strategies of our creatures. How have they adapted to thrive in their environment? This might include physical adaptations like camouflage or specialized hunting techniques. A creature in a desert might have evolved to conserve water and blend seamlessly with the sand, while a forest dweller could have developed a keen sense of navigating through dense vegetation. The social structures of the creatures also play a part here. Are they solitary or do they live in groups? How do they communicate and interact with their environment? Incorporating these aspects ensures that our creatures are not just fanciful beings, but integral parts of their ecosystems with a clear role and purpose. Moving forward to the third step of ethereal genesis, we focus on cultural synthesis and integration. This involves investigating cultural symbols, mythological elements, and insights gained from our foundational research. We look at how these cultural aspects can influence the creature's characteristics, behaviors, and significance. For example, a creature inspired by Celtic mythology might reflect themes of nature and magic, resonating with the cultural beliefs and aesthetics of a world steeped in druidic lore. Next, we develop the visual design and artifact integration of our creatures. This is where we translate our research into tangible aspects of our creature's appearance. We think about how the creature might be represented in the world's culture, such as its depiction in architecture, heraldry, or jewelry. The visual representation not only adds to its aesthetic appeal, but also deepens its cultural significance. A creature revered as a guardian might be symbolized in protective emblems or architecture throughout the world. Finally, we assess the creature's cultural narrative impact. Here we consider how the creature influences and is influenced by societal beliefs, traditions, and art. This could involve the creature being central to certain cultural rituals, festivals, or folklore. Its existence might shape the way the societies in your world view certain aspects of their environment or spiritual beliefs. For instance, a creature that is believed to be the harbinger of change might play a significant role in rituals related to seasons or life milestones. Now, if you found anything useful in the video so far, please consider giving it a like to help me grow this channel. Thank you. Step 4 in ethereal genesis takes us into the fascinating realm of magical and biological anatomy. This is where our creatures take a more defined shape, merging the realms of the fantastical with the scientifically plausible. We start with biological blueprinting. Here, we sketch out our creature's anatomical structure. This is about ensuring that its body makes sense in its environment and cultural context. For instance, a creature living in a dense jungle ecosystem might have a lithe, agile body suitable for navigating through thick foliage, while one from a mountainous region might exhibit a sturdy, robust form to endure harsh climates. The anatomy should also reflect any cultural significance it holds. A creature revered for its strength might have pronounced muscular development, becoming a symbol of power in its society. Next then is magical trait development. In this phase, we imbue our creatures with magical traits or abilities that not only complement but also enhance their biological aspects. These magical qualities should stem from the diverse inspirations and core themes we've identified earlier. For example, a creature inspired by lunar myths might have the ability to blend into its surroundings during different moon phases. The key here is to create harmony between the magical and the biological, making the creature's abilities feel like a natural extension of its physical form. Lastly, we ensure anatomy-magic coherence. This is crucial for maintaining believability within the fantasy world. If a creature has the ability to breathe fire, for example, it might possess heat-resistant scales or internal organs that can safely produce intense heat. This step is about aligning the creature's physical makeup with its magical traits, creating a creature that is both wondrous and logically coherent with the rules of the fantasy world. Step 5 of ethereal genesis brings us to narrative integration. This is where we weave our creatures into the very fabric of our world's stories and history. In story role definition, we determine the specific role our creature plays in the world's stories and legends. This isn't just about deciding whether it's a fearsome beast or sacred entity. It's about how this role enhances and interacts with the narrative. A creature might be a central figure in a hero's journey, a symbol of a nation's pride, or a mysterious entity that drives the plot of an entire saga. For instance, a creature inspired by themes of wisdom and secrecy might appear in stories as a guardian of ancient knowledge, challenging adventurers who seek its wisdom. Its role should align seamlessly with the cultural, ecological, and thematic foundations we've established, making it an integral part of the world's storytelling. Historical integration, on the other hand, is about embedding our creature into the history of the fantasy world. Here we create legends, myths, or historical events where our creature played a significant role. This could involve the creature being part of creation myths, pivotal battles, or significant cultural shifts. For example, a creature that embodies the theme of transformation might be featured in tales of world-changing events or as a symbol of major societal shifts. By cross-referencing the creature's cultural, ecological, and foundational elements, we ensure its historical presence is consistent and adds depth to the world's lore. Through narrative integrations, we ensure that our creatures become more than just inhabitants of the world. They are characters with a role to play, shaping and being shaped by the world's history, culture, and legends. Step 6 of Etherogenesis delves into the ethical and emotional connection. This is a crucial step that adds depth and complexity to our creatures, shaping how they are perceived and interact within their world. The exploration of ethical implications is where we consider the varying ways societies in our fantasy world might view and treat our creatures. Are they revered as sacred beings, feared as malevolent forces, or exploited for certain attributes? This perspective is not just about the creatures themselves, but also about the values and moral frameworks of the societies they interact with. For instance, a creature with healing abilities might be worshipped or protected in one culture, but hunted for its medicinal properties in another. Such ethical considerations can add layers of conflict and intrigue to your narrative, making creatures a focal point of exploring moral themes. When we're looking into emotional bonding, we explore the deeper connections between our creatures and the characters of societies in our world. This step goes beyond the surface interactions and delves into the emotional bonds that might form. A creature might be seen as a beloved champion, forming deep emotional bonds with certain characters, or as a symbol of fear, evoking strong emotional reactions. This emotional depth can be a powerful narrative tool, allowing for character development and more nuanced storytelling. For example, a character might form a unique bond with a creature that is generally feared, challenging societal norms and perceptions. Lastly, with coexistence dynamics, we focus on how our creatures interact with other beings and their environment. This includes aspects of conflict, harmony, and mutual dependence. How does the creature fit into the ecosystem's food chain? What impact does it have on its environment and other species? Understanding these dynamics ensures that our creatures are not isolated entities, but part of the larger ecological and societal web. A creature might play a key role in maintaining ecological balance, or could be part of complex interspecies relationships. Now, the creation of a new creature could also go along with the creation of a new transport method in your world. For more about this aspect of world building, check out the video at the top. The final step of Etherogenesis is functionality and practicality. The analysis of real-world functionality involves a close examination of how the creatures function in its environment. This includes movement, diet, breeding habits, and how these aspects are influenced by its anatomical and magical characteristics. For instance, a creature designed for a desert environment should exhibit traits for conserving water and enduring heat. Its diet should be consistent with what's available in its habitat, and its breeding habits should be aligned with its environmental conditions. This step roots our creature in the realism of its world, making it a believable part of its ecosystem. Magic reality balance is about harmonizing the creature's magical elements with ecological and biological principles. It's crucial that the magical aspects don't overshadow the creature's ability to realistically function in its environment. For example, if a creature has the ability to teleport, considerations about how this affects its survival strategies and interactions with other species are necessary. This balance helps maintain the creature's believability and integrity within the fantasy world. The practicality check then assesses whether the creature's design is practical and sustainable within its ecosystem and cultural setting. This includes evaluating if the creature's lifestyle is sustainable within its environment, and if its existence is compatible with the world's cultural practices and beliefs. Through this final meticulous process of analyzing functionality, balancing magic with reality, and checking practicality, we ensure that our creatures are not only captivating, but also well integrated and functional within their world. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Have a great day, and see you in the next one.